Hi guys, and welcome to week 12 of Mental Mondays. So excuse how I sound and look. I have been very sick for the last 3-4 days. I'm just finally getting over it, perfectly in time to get this video up for Monday. This week, I thought I would talk about mental health resources that I know of. There are a ton out there, and I feel like there's not a good way to kind of find them or sift through all of the information there is out there, because there's a lot of information and that can just make things confusing. So I thought I would go through 5 of the ones that I found to be most helpful and informative and kind of useful, really. Resources is such an important thing. It can be really scary reaching out for help. So resources can be a way to kind of gather your own thoughts about what you're needing help with first. For me, my biggest ability to get resources and kind of reach out for information without fully going into detail about what I was feeling like I was going through before going to see anybody or anything like that was my psychology classes and the books that they gave me for those classes. It teaches you so much going through a psychology class. I wish everybody had to take at least one, because you learn so much about yourself and so much just about how people work that it is useful for everybody, because you learn yourself, you learn other people and how to interact with other people, and it's just good all around. And I honestly believe everybody should have to take one at some point. Since then, I have tried to keep as many of my side textbooks as I could, but I wanted to kind of give some more easily accessible resources. So the first resource that I want to recommend is called the DSM, and that stands for the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. I know that doesn't sound accessible. This is probably the only one that is like a textbook type of resource, but it has a ton of information about all of the different mental issues that a psychologist has to try to diagnose. And in turn, you can kind of find out about yourself and look up what you're really identifying the most with and see what it says about it. There is a warning with this one. There are many different versions. It's continually updated to be most up to date with what's currently going on and what research is most recently showing, and there's been a lot of controversy about those updates. But if you find the right one, it can be very helpful. At the least, it gives you more information to go from. Word of caution with that one, but that is a very good one. The second resource I have is actually one that's kind of more encouragement than anything, and that is the Bible. Whether you are a believer or not, the Bible has a lot of amazing stories in it. There's a lot of amazing journeys that are shown, as well as a lot of amazing wisdom and encouragement and expression. So in the book of Proverbs, there is a lot of wisdom quotes. There's a lot of little nuggets of thought that can be very helpful, be very encouraging, be very enlightening, and that can be a good resource as well. Also, in the Psalms, there are a lot of expression of feeling, and there's a lot of understanding what it means to be struggling, and that goes over into the book of Lamentations as well. So if you're open to that kind of thing, if you're a believer, this is great, and you might have already come across that being helpful. If not, I would encourage you to check it out. If you're open to that kind of thing and you're not a believer, I would encourage you to be open to the idea. Maybe there is some use for it for you as well. The third resource I have is your local clinics. There are a lot of amazing mental health professionals out there that can really look at your own situation and your own struggle and story that you're going through. It can be really hard to reach out to people, but there is no greater a healing thing been reaching out and not keeping silent. The fourth resource I want to talk about is online forums. There are a lot of online communities for mental health and mental health issues. There's a lot of Facebook groups, there's a lot of Facebook pages dedicated to specific mental health issues, mental health disorders, and things of that sort. There's a lot of support groups online that can really give you that feeling of community and support, with also being on a device that you can keep with you wherever you go. That can give you that sense of community and reaching out, and can be a less awkward introduction to it than face-to-face. The fifth resource I want to talk about is YouTube. There is actually not a ton of YouTubers that do mental health videos, unfortunately. So this one is a little limited, and that's kind of why I started my own, where I wanted to be able to talk about this stuff and get conversations going and help others. There is one channel I have found that I will link both in the description box and on the screen. Her name is Kati Morton. She is a licensed psychologist that began doing YouTube videos and has now made a whole community with her channel around all kinds of mental health topics. And I would encourage you to check her channel out for resources as well, and keep checking back on my channel. Videos can be a good thing because you are seeing a person, you're hearing them talk, you're seeing their facial expressions. That can be super personal and engaging and really encouraging as well. And being able to talk through comments or private messages can really enhance that even more. So I would encourage looking on YouTube. There are also a lot of different conferences and kind of lectures, if you're into that kind of thing, that do get posted on YouTube every so often. Kind of just have to search, and the searching on YouTube for mental health videos really works the best if you have a specific topic in mind. Just with any search engine, if you give it more information, it can give you closer what you want. Giving a specific mental health topic instead of just mental health in general gives it a little more to go on, and there's more specific videos you can find that would be helpful. I know this might have sounded like a lot of information and a lot of resources thrown at you at once, but I hope this helped. I want to encourage everyone to really reach out and look at this stuff. And if you guys would like more resources or maybe videos on the different types of resources I listed, leave me a comment and let me know that. I would love to do more videos on this type of stuff. I could talk so much about the DSM and finding a good clinic and a good mental health professional. So I hope this video helped you guys. It was a little different. I didn't give a ton of my own story in this one, but I hope it helped you guys. I hope it gave you some good information and good thoughts on resources you can find. If there's any other video ideas you guys have, please, I would love to hear them. Leave them in the comments below. And I would love to hear any resources you guys know of in the comments below as well. And if you use one of these and it ends up helping you out, I would love to hear that as well. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and click subscribe so you can see when the next video comes out. And I will see you guys in that one. Bye! With figuring out what the healthy balance is between being connected with somebody and being your own person. And that's hard to talk about, even though almost nothing's hard for me to talk about. I feel like I'm just a huge open book all the time, and boundaries. I think to some extent it's just